I'm seeing like a Kim, it's Coretta. If I want it, I can cop it, I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, yeah, I'm on it, got no time to party.
Final day of this 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships live from Fort Moore, Georgia. Title game Thursday. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines. The culmination of a long week of work here, probably months in the making for all of these programs as we get the consolation and championship games here this afternoon. Let's kick it out to the public address announcer for the starting lineups for Marines and Navy women.
I see you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's get ready to resume the tournament. Right now, we have the third seed, third place. Trophy up for grabs. We have our Navy women versus the U.S. Marine Corps women. Let's start with our visiting team. Number 21, Angela Myers. Number 2, Kira Wood. Number 3, Danae Wilson. Number 22, Ariel Thomas. And number 10, Kaylee Springer. Our Navy women. Now for the home team, we have the U.S. Marine Corps women. Number 2, Ashley Leachman. Number 1, Shelby Lindsay. Number 21, Kaylee D'Arcy. Number 12, Brianna Allen. And number 32, Veronica French. Our officiants for game 1 today, we have Marky, Tori, and Nene. Give it up for our officiants.
Starting lineups on the floor for Navy head coach Sarita Brumfield, her third year at the helm. The former Michigan State Spartan puts out the starting lineup that looks like this. Kira Wood, the ensign out of U.S. Sector Houston, gets the call. Danae Wilson is in the starting lineup today. Angela Myers, the veteran lieutenant commander out of San Antonio, Texas, gets the call. Ariel Thomas and Kaylee Springer starting her second consecutive game. For Chris Madden and the Marine women, it is Shelby Lindsay, Ashley Leachman, Kaylee D'Arcy, Veronica French, and Brianna Allen as we are underway in this consolation game matchup between the Marines and the Navy. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines, and Joel, third time's the charm for these two. Both teams 1-1 against each other so far. We'll see how it goes. Yesterday, the Navy women in the final day of pool play got their first win of the tournament.
Yes, this is essentially the rubber match between these two squads as Marines picked up their first win in years in this tournament. And like you said, Dan, Navy got their first win of the tournament yesterday versus the Marines. So we're looking forward to a very competitive matchup.
Army starts out in a zone look, Marines start out in a zone look. That ball knocked out of bounds.
It's good to see Leachman back at the helm at the point guard spot for the Marines after suffering a couple of injuries.
Nice shot from Veronica French. Marines lead it 2-0, and you see that ball pressure that the Marine women love to employ.
Yes, Coach Madden has been committed to pressure defense this week with Shelby Lindsay at the top of that 1-2-1-1.
Navy squad had 4 players in double figures as a 10-second call, and that's a turnover for Navy, but it was a 3-point game yesterday. Henderson, though, a breakout game. She had 19 points yesterday for Navy.
She really did. Even though she comes off the bench, she plays starter minutes, and she could very well start for this team. But Coach Broomfield sticking to her rotation, and we expect to see her sometime today and have an impact on this game.
Danae Wilson with the steal. And a fight for the loose ball and a whistle.
Very scrappy here early on, and we've seen that a lot this week. Teams trying to find themselves at the beginning of the game before they settle in.
Possession arrow with the Marines here. Speaking of Danae Wilson, she had 18 points yesterday for Navy as well. So we'll see how her breakout week continues. Shelby Lindsay, nice pass into the paint to Brianna Allen, knocked away. Marines are so good when they're able to work that pass into the post.
They are. They have great size, and Brianna Allen was the recipient and the benefactor of a lot of the inside play yesterday. Just a force inside.
Shelby Lindsay with the bucket for the Marines. A quick 4-0 start for them. But Kaylee Springer on the other end, no.
The Marines really have to be strong with the ball. They have gradually gotten better as the week has gone on. We saw them yesterday, even though in the loss, play better offense than they've played in the past. So hopefully they can continue that here today.
Substitution here, Arodisha Jefferson, corporal out of Camp Pendleton, California, checking to the lineup for Leachman. Just underway, 2 minutes gone by here in quarter number one, and that shot partially blocked. And the ball will be in favor of the Marines here.
The size of the Marine Corps front line, giving Navy fits there on that possession.
Brianna Allen finds the cutter. That was Veronica French. French to her friend Brianna Allen, and Allen delivers.
We see what second shot opportunities can do for teams. Offensive rebounds have been one of the strengths for teams with size, and the Marines benefit there.
Danae Wilson, and it's Allen down with the rebound. And Allen played a few games of this tournament in foul trouble, and that never boded well for the Marines. So such a key piece in the center of that lineup.
She's a key piece for the squad. As we see there, it's important that she stays on the floor as the Marines get out to a 8-0 start, a great beginning to this game for them. Hopefully they can keep it up.
6:46 to play. First quarter will step aside.
Hey, I'm going out of legend. When you hear my name, you gon' respect it, cause I did it every time that I said it. Boy, I'm going out of legend. I've been working 24/7. They ain't give me nothing easy, so I had to go and get it. I'm a legend. They gon' try to act like we ain't had it. They can't overlook the way we made it happen, so I'm going out of legend. That's why I'm going out of legend.
Best case scenario for the Marines, an 8-0 start to this game as they try to get out of here with a third place finish in this 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships. And the Marines with the basketball courtesy of another turnover, a rough start for Navy. And a basketball underneath to Jefferson, and she turns it over.
2 victories for the week would be a huge accomplishment for the Marine women.
They've had a few injuries this week. Tellez not available, but everybody else is available today, according to Coach Chris Madden. As a missed shot for Navy, and still an 8-0 lead for the Navy. They're the home team, but wearing the blue unis today. And Brianna Allen making her mark here in this first quarter.
She's really starting to come on strong, establishing herself in the paint. It's a great sign for the Marines, who are up by 10 early.
10-0 run exactly the way you draw it up, right, in the pregame, Coach?
That's an ideal start for Coach Madden. So if he drew it up that way, he needs to save whatever pregame speech he had and bottle it up for the next go-around.
And Allen is bottling it up and letting it out. 8 points in this first quarter. Marines blitzing the Navy right now. 12-0. Kira Wood on the baseline. And Allen down with the rebound.
Allen is a force to be reckoned with. She had 20 points in her last game, and she's well on her way to a big game today.
Johnson with the steal. Down low, Allen up off the glass, making it look easy. 10 points for Brianna Allen.
Already half of her offensive output from the last time these two teams played, which was yesterday. So she's picking up right where she left off.
Ariel Thomas breaks the drought, and 5+ minutes into the game, Navy with their first bucket of the game, a 3 from Thomas, her 7th of the tournament.
Big basket by Thomas there to stop the bleeding in the 14-0 run. An impressive start by the Marine women.
Thomas commits the foul on the other end. That's going to be her first, team's first, with 4:37 to play, as a couple of substitutions up off the Marine bench. Deja Fletcher and Dominique White check into the lineup, and Allen with 10 points will get a break. Darcy as well. Jefferson did not score in yesterday's game and makes the first free throw here, as you see that last play again.
Great job by Jefferson there, attempting to evade the defense, but she goes up strong and earns a trip to the free throw line. Let's see if she can knock both of them down.
12-point lead for the Marines.
Coach Madden imploring his team to stay in this pressure defense. Kind of delays Navy's start offensively. When they get the ball in the front court, time off the shot clock has elapsed.
Henderson with the missed shot. The first time these two teams hooked up in the tournament was on the third day, as the pass underneath to Dominique White, and a whistle. Darcy had 21 points in that game. Veronica French had 14 points. The final score, a 68-60 decision. And then yesterday, it was a 3-point game, despite Brianna Allen having her highest scoring output of the tournament at 20 points.
Yes, it seems like the Marines have come out today to avenge yesterday's defeat. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're active, forcing the issue on defense. Good offense so far. Heck of a start to this game in the first quarter.
That was a fun game yesterday, partner. A 71-69 deficit with 6 seconds left, as that ball is out of bounds. But the Marines had a chance at the end, but had that big turnover, didn't get a shot.
That was an unfortunate ending to the game. A well-played game by both teams, competitive. And there's a lot of basketball left. Navy has to do its best to chip into this lead, one possession at a time. Knowing Coach Broomfield, she's going to get her squad right throughout the course of this game.
Veronica French and Dominique White with the big rebound. Johnson, no, off the hands of Thomas. And Shelby Lindsay will check back into the Marine lineup. Allen with her own follow-up, 12 points. And we're only in quarter number 1, and it seems like a good recipe, so you might as well just keep going back to the well.
If it's not broke, Dan, do not fix it. And Brianna Allen has really established herself early inside for the Marines.
12 of the USMC 17 points in this first quarter. Kira Wood can't connect. Thomas wants a three. Yes, her second. Again, another much-needed bucket for the Navy, down to an 11-point lead. Still a lot of basketball left.
The post player, Thomas, showing the ability to step out on the perimeter. She's really doing her best to try to keep Navy within a respectable margin.
Darcy back in. Olivia Islas checks in here.
Coach Madden going to his bench early, and the luxury with having such a great start. We've already seen Allen and Lindsay and Darcy get rest in previous games. They've played a lot of minutes, you know, ended fatigued at the end of games.
Good ball movement here from Navy, and how about Toledo driving baseline?
And that's what it's going to take. Solid offensive possessions, working both sides of the floor, passing the ball, finding the best possible shot, and then driving lanes when the defense breaks down.
Danae Wilson commits the foul, and that will put Brianna Allen at the free throw line. The Marine captain, who is an ROTC instructor at the University of South Carolina, makes the free throw. But if you think about it, here she is playing a very high-level basketball, but she's also mentoring and inspiring the next generation of future officers in college.
Yes, and as a recruiter, she can go back to future Marines and say, hey, we have this sports program. If you were an athlete in high school or in college, these opportunities are available to you, and hopefully that can grow the Marine sports program.
So many opportunities in the armed forces. This is just one of them. Recruiting, such a big issue right now for all the armed services. But oftentimes it's, as you see a turnover on the floor, it's because people don't know all the things that the military offers from a benefits perspective and opportunities. So travel the world, that's not just a catchphrase. These professionals here this week are traveling the world to play basketball.
Yes, and they've been afforded a tremendous opportunity the last couple of weeks, not only with this tournament, but with their trial camps. As we see the ball there go out of bounds. But for all the services, this helps with recruiting and retention. Some of the programs have their world-class athlete programs where they recruit competitors for various sporting events.
And the top 12 players on both the men's and the women's side, as you see Myers with a step-back shot. But the top 24 players from this tournament will get a chance to go to Belgium and play against some of the world's best military players.
Yes, that's an awesome opportunity to compete internationally and experience the camaraderie and healthy competition with our international services.
Red clock down to 5, and Navy out with the basketball, and Toledo and Gunnery Sergeant Leachman. And it's going to be Leachman and the Marines who get the basketball.
And I asked a Marine officer back at Quantico a couple of months ago the benefits of having these international tournaments, and he said to me, you know, when we're actually on the battlefield, you know, maybe there's a chance that we strike up a conversation and share our experiences through sport. And that's just one of the benefits of the Armed Forces Tournament and the international competitions that these men and women will participate in.
Interoperability, such a key factor in today's era of strategic competition. So awesome that it can be seen on the basketball court here. Of course, all the services getting the opportunity to play against one another and compete but also build relationships that you just never know when those will bear fruit later down the road.
You're exactly right. And kudos to the entire team here, the Armed Forces Sports Office, the team at Fort Moore, especially the Smith Center, putting on an outstanding event this week. It's been first class.
It really has, as Kira Wood goes all the way to the bucket and draws the foul with 15 seconds left here in quarter number 1. So Wood at the free throw line, a quiet day here so far. She had 14 points in yesterday's game. And on the notes, it says she had 34 trays. As you see the foul there. I think that might be a misprint, Joel.
Maybe 3 or 4. But she's very capable. She's had 17 threes in this tournament. And for Navy to be successful in this game, Kira Wood really needs to get going offensively. She's one of their best players. She's averaged 15.3 points a game this tournament.
3 seconds, shot on the way. Nothing but net for Keishana Johnson. And it's been nothing but buckets for the Marines here in the first quarter. 12-point lead. Been a Marine Corps kind of day here in this women's consolation matchup between the Marines and Navy. And 14 points from Brianna Allen has led the way. Navy just has not been able to get untracked offensively. Ariel Thomas has 2 triples for Navy to lead the scoring ledger there. A traveling violation from Ariana Henderson, fresh into the game for Navy. But the Marines, Joel, finding a lot of success just getting the ball into the paint and saying, hey, Brianna, score.
This has been an ideal start for the Marines. As we saw on that 3, once you establish yourself inside, Brianna Allen was then able to make a play as the defense converges to find open shooters. So the Marines doing a great job establishing themselves inside first, then the outside would open up for their capable shooters.
Our next game will feature the Marine men and the Army men in the consolation matchup. And for the Army men, I think, who had aspirations on being in that title game, a little bit of a tough pill to swallow probably today.
Yes, they had a very tough game yesterday versus Air Force, a de facto semifinals game. To get in the championship game, didn't quite make it. But still, I expect a very competitive game between the Marines and the Army in our next game.
Allen. Lindsay now. And a lot of second chance opportunities in this game for the Marines as French fires away. And it's finally brought in by Springer.
The Marines are playing very determined basketball, hitting the offensive glass, establishing themselves inside early, playing active defense, leading Navy right now 22-10. You couldn't ask for a better start.
Ball out of bounds here with 8:25 remaining in quarter number 2.
While Navy is doing their best to chip away at this lead, I'm sure the Marines want to sustain this level of play.
Nice pass inside from Toledo to Kaylee Springer. Navy needs more of that.
They do. Delve in the paint, create plays for others. Springer finishing on the fine from Toledo. Toledo has a lot of heart. One of the smallest players in this tournament. As Brianna Allen shows her versatility inside, outside. She's really having an awesome start.
This might be the most dominant first half we've seen out of a player for this whole tournament.
Dan, I think you're right. We've seen a number of games, and Brianna Allen right now is making the case for what you just said.
Of course, the all-tournament teams will be announced later today as a turnover for Navy. So the voting's already done. So it'll be interesting to see how those shake out. I know a lot of players probably, I don't want to say pins and needles, but anxiously awaiting to hear who made those teams.
A lot of individual pride among many of the players here in this tournament. Even though it's a team game, that is a great individual accomplishment. And again, the opportunity to represent our country internationally, that is a huge deal.
Turnover for the Marines here, 7:08 to play. It's always interesting, right? Because there's probably a list of what I would call the usual suspects in terms of they seem to be on the list every year. But there's a lot of newcomers in this tournament who have made a big mark.
Yes, we thoroughly enjoyed learning about all of the newcomers and their ability. Some might have even surprised their coaches. While their coaches have been familiar with them throughout trial camp, it's different when you get in game situations between the lines in the heat of competition. As we see the Marines ramp up the intensity led by Coach Madden, imploring and encouraging his team to continue this fight.
Coach Madden is fired up over here on this Marine sideline, and why not? The Marines have been playing lights out here despite the 11 a.m. start.
They obviously rolled out of bed with great intentions, ready for this game this morning. Again, maybe chomping at the bit to get back at this Navy team who defeated them yesterday in a close game. Like you said, very winnable at the end, an unfortunate ending for them. And they've really established themselves early, led by Brianna Allen, the 2003 Marine Athlete of the Year on the women's side, showing why she earned that honor.
A 14-point lead for the Marines. And a foul in the backcourt. Allen now with 18 points here in this first half. Marines used a 14-0 run to start the game.
This performance could really bode well for the future of the Marines women's basketball program. It would be a great accomplishment to end this tournament on a victory.
And a turnover for Navy.
Navy just can't quite get going right now, but there's no quitting that team. There's no quitting the coach. Shirley demands excellence for her squad, and they have some good pieces who can make plays, score, and possibly get them back in this game. But we've seen the combo of Allen and Darcy, which has been very formidable for the Marines all week. Early on, it was Darcy leading the scoring column. Now we see Allen.
Danae Wilson for three, her first of the game. 10th of the tournament, and the lead down to 13 as we see a couple of substitutions. Danae Wilson the former Wabash Valley College product, 7.2 points a game. She's really come out here over the last 2 or 3 games to show her skills. 3 ball on the way there. Rebound, no, for Angel Keys.
And as the week has progressed, we've seen many individual players and teams grow and develop and get better as time has gone on. This is the 7th game in 7 days, so you have to commend their effort fighting through fatigues, banged up, injured, the wear and tear. They have really shown great perseverance and resilience this week.
The player we haven't seen the last couple of games for Navy is Ebony Nelms-Shivers. She would have made a difference, I think, in this game as well. And whistle. And that foul is going to be called offensively against Ariel Thomas of Navy. As you see the frustration on her face there.
And that's what solid defense does. See the Marines holding their ground, taking charges, doing everything they can to win. Great job by French, the vet, one of the leaders. And when you're a leader of a team, it doesn't necessarily have to come with points on the board, making plays, being vocal, encouraging. And that's what she does. She's very solid for this team.
Pass intended for Leachman. Goes out of bounds. .435 and counting here in the first half. Shot on the way from Johnson. Bounces around, and last touch by Ashley Leachman.
And I like how the Marines are being stronger with the ball, being more patient on offense. Their execution has gotten much better as the tournament has gone on. And that's a testament to their coaching and their will on the part of their players.
Rebound taken down by Veronica French. And a great hustle by Leachman to save it. Darcy for 3.
And that's what they missed when Leachman was out with those injuries. Her ability to chase down loose balls, lead the team at the point, apply ball pressure at the point of attack. It's good that she's back in this game.
Angel Keith turns the ball over. 13-point lead for the Marine Corps women. Trying to get out of Fort Moore, Georgia on a win.
Now Brianna Allen is out right now, but the Marines can't get away from what's really been working for them so far, and that's established themselves in the paint. And no sooner than we say that, Allen and Lindsay are back in the game.
Feels like both coaches are kind of letting their teams run here in this final day. Haven't seen a lot of timeouts early. Allen, 6-footer, no. Underneath, Shelby Lindsay can't get it. And it's Henderson snags the rebound.
Ariana Henderson has been all over the floor for Navy, doing a little bit of everything, slashing, rebounding, scoring, a huge spark off the bench.
That ball out of bounds.
As we take a look at Leachman again, heavily bandaged arm. She took a shot to the face, was bloodied yesterday. But again, the gunny is tough, as you would expect.
All 5'2" of her. She's a dynamo out there. She's shown it all week, playing through injuries. Glad she's on our side.
Absolutely.
Henderson with the missed shot. Glad all these ladies are on our side.
And again, even though we're competing here against other services, at the end of the day, we're all in the same team, fighting the same fight.
Brianna Allen. Henderson, she could jump. Skies for those rebounds.
He's a pretty good athlete.
And an offensive foul. And that should be the third on Thomas. And she's going to have to come out of the game. Big loss for that Navy lineup.
Good job by Keshana Johnson there. Stepping in, taking the charge. She's a very capable offensive outside shooter, but we saw her will to play help defense there and sacrifice her body for the team.
Marines looking to add on to their 13-point lead. Fletcher on the baseline, reverse layup. Last touched by Springer.
Fletcher's trying to find holes in that matchup zone we've seen Navy implore for the majority of the week.
Navy had those two great games in this tournament against Air Force and Army where they came out and trying to find some of that magic here this afternoon, but it's been tough sledding against a very determined Marine squad here in the Consolation final between these two teams as that ball goes out of bounds.
After that hot start by the Marines, is really even right now. 6-5 game here in the second quarter after that 22-10 outburst. But Jefferson has something to say about that as she drains the three from the left wing.
Second tray of the tournament. The lead sitting at 16 points, but you made a great point about despite the Marines' hot start since, it's been a very even basketball game.
Yes, Navy, they're not going to quit. There's no let up in this team. Brianna Allen all over the court, chasing down rebounds. And Jefferson showing her range early with 2 consecutive threes.
7 points for her. And Brianna Allen, 2-on-2 here, and she'll go all the way to the rack. Can't finish.
Kira Wood has to get going for the Navy squad. She's been relatively quiet this game.
She had a quiet first half yesterday as well, ended up with 14 points. And on cue, a 2-pointer for Kira Wood. Navy definitely would like to see her get hot.
She can really create her own shot, whether it's outside or inside, and we see there with the show.
3 seconds left in this first half and a jump ball. And the possession arrow is in favor of the Marines, so with 1.6, a catch and shoot opportunity. They call out to play Chesty.
Named after the legendary Marine Chesty Puller.
And I would have to say he'd be proud right now. A 34-17 score. The Marines with the lead, 18 points from Brianna Allen. Balance scoring across the ledger. And for Navy, some things to talk about in that locker room at the half. Don't go anywhere. Second half's coming up.
Funny how it goes. Can I get a countdown and drum roll? No time ain't an option, no. Sit back, watch this unfold. Hey, but it ain't nothing, let me tell you something. Hey, yeah, one shot, one chance. Look, time spot, been a plan. Talking drive time, 100 bands. Yeah, we pull up, got the gun high, been a man. Hey, yeah, one shot, one chance. In the tank, if the wrong guy really wanna come test me, cause he envy everything that I got, what I am and he not. Coldest one on the block, you know these boys don't got nothing but excuses. My whole squad.
is 70% water. And 30% land. But the entire sky belongs to us. Copy that. Team Hireman.
This isn't an audition or the road trip you took to the coast. And it's far from those weekend camping trips. It's nothing like a district track meet. Bagging groceries at the corner store or crashing a party with your friends. Out here, it's not where the seat takes you, but who it makes you. Get up to a $40,000 bonus when you start today.
As the world watches and listens in horror, the peaceful pro-democracy demonstration in China comes to a violent and bloody end. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wolves hiding nearby, whispering do or die around me. You say your last good night while I get
There is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
The target of psychological warfare is against the enemy's mind.
It is words and ideas.
Ammunition used by Psy-War.
Its mission is to influence the thoughts of the enemy soldier, and at the same time
Is expected and encouraged to study foreign languages and the social sciences such as history, economics, and sociology. He must have a broad and sympathetic understanding of all phases of human experience.
gripping at my skin, the walls of night close in.
but the use of this force as an integral part of combat has now taken on new form.
As I wait to say my last goodbye.
These are the Psy-War soldiers.
Today, space is essential not only to our way of life, it's absolutely critical to the modern way of war. GPS, ATMs, cell phones, gas pumps, traffic lights, power grids, guided missiles, surveillance, RPAs, ground combat control. There's no such thing as a day without space operations. You just don't see them. Earth is only half the battle. Cyber attacks and jamming of our satellites. Microsatellites that can create a debris field. At 17,000 miles an hour, a piece of metal the size of a coin can be weaponized. Now is the time for a military branch with a clear and singular focus on space. A military branch that protects the hopes and dreams of America and our way of life as the space domain becomes more and more contested. It's time for another giant leap. The United States Space Force is being built from the brightest minds across the space operations of the Air Force, our joint services, and the private sector. We aren't just getting ready for the near future, we're getting ready for the 22nd century. When our enemies ask, what if? We will have an answer. When foreign powers can build bases on the dark side of the moon, when private companies are inventing a new economy beyond our planet, we need to stay one step ahead of the future. And the future is where we'll make history. We will fight in an environment with no up or down, no left or right, where there are no borders and nowhere to hide. Our Space Force is defending our country, here on Earth and wherever our mission takes us. As commerce and exploration expand, we will imagine the unimaginable, anticipate the inconceivable, and prepare for the impossible. We won't just think outside the box. We'll think outside the atmosphere. In one of the most challenging environments ever known.
Dreamer.
on trigger with aim on a target. I'm shooting my shot, yeah. It's right on no money, no discount, no bargain. Hear them calling. The clock is ticking, we cannot be stalling.
34-17 the score here at the half. A 14-0 run by the Marine Corps, and what a first half performance from Brianna Allen, making her case that she's definitely in the top 12 players, gotta be in this tournament, Joel.
She's had an outstanding first half. The Marines doubled the output of Navy, 34-17. Hopefully they can sustain that effort and have no letdown, but I'm pretty sure we're looking forward to a Navy surge here sooner or later.
Aronisha Jefferson with 7 points in that first half for Navy. Ariel Thomas has 6 points to lead the way, but she has 3 fouls for the Sailors. 4 points for Kira Wood. We'll see if she gets going here in this second half. Navy starts out in its own look on D. Veronica French lays it up and in.
Great find by Lindsay up top, finding French. But if Navy wants to get back in this game, Thomas has to stay out of foul trouble, remain on the floor, and Kira Wood must get going.
(36-17) the score. Kira Wood from 3. No. Darcy with the rebound. Both teams running the floor here. The final 20-minute run of this tournament. Veronica French, Lindsay, down with the rebound. Brianna Allen. Kira Wood on the other end, not able to finish.
Didn't quite have the numbers there, did Wood, but she knows that she must be aggressive for Navy to have a chance in this game, but the Marines just keep coming. Leachman with an outside shot. That's a great sign for them.
And a quick timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. 8:16 to play third quarter. Marines still up big. .1 lead for the USMC here on this title game Thursday. But we're in the consolation brackets. Again, the Marine men will try to close out the tournament. Coming up next against a dejected Army squad who lost a shot at the title game yesterday. And then the women's championship game, Joel, should be another good one. But Army with a tall task, trying to beat a very dominant Air Force women's squad.
And you described them perfectly. Air Force has been absolutely dominant in this tournament, undefeated for the week. No question that they are the #1 seed and have rightfully earned that position.
Allen with the long three. And I think what makes the Air Force team so tough is their depth.
Their starting five is absolutely skilled and talented, and they can come off the bench with reserves where there's no letdown. They can beat you inside, outside. They make plays, play defense. They're a very complete team.
Kaylee Springer with 4 points now in the game for Navy. Navy's had some success when they've been able to get the ball inside, but that hasn't happened a lot here. this afternoon. And then the final game of the day, Joel, will be a Air Force and Navy showdown. The Navy has beaten the Air Force twice in this tournament. And so, as you see, the shot missed there, but the putback from Lindsay is good and one.
Yes,
but it should be a matchup.
Yes, back to that championship game tonight. Navy got a chance to rest some of its key players, having solidified its spot early this week with the dominant showing. Their only loss coming to the USMC, but Air Force, I think, has a lot of momentum right now, on a winning streak, having to play their way in must-win situations the last 2 games. I expect there to be no letdown by that Air Force team, and it's going to be a very intense, competitive game.
That game yesterday, as Wilson launches a long shot that's missed, but Myers able to get the rebound and a foul. But Air Force was so dominant start to finish. They shut down Colt Ray. I mean, just a fabulous game. And the defensive intensity by Air Force, that's going to be a fun game to watch.
Air Force is the high-scoring team, averaging 74 points in this game. Again, they have depth, athleticism, inside play, great guard play. They get out and get after it. It's going to be an exciting championship matchup to end this tournament.
Chris Madden having some fun with the officials here on this final day of the tournament. As much fun as you can have with the officials.
With a 21-point lead, has a smile on his face. He's happy, pleased with the way his team is playing. And it's fun when you're playing well like this.
Angela Myers at the free throw line, and 2 out of 2 on that trip for the Lieutenant Commander.
We mentioned what Veronica French means to the Marines. Angela Myers is just as equally as important for the Navy, the unsung leader and hero for this team, as Jefferson is showing her outside shooting ability, her 3rd 3 of the game.
That shot up and missed as the kick out to Wilson. And Abby Nelm Shivers has checked into the lineup for Navy here in this second half. As Kira Wood shot off the back iron. Jefferson has really come on strong over the last few days.
She has. And
see a turnover, though.
Just a little quick there. Attempting to get to the basket, one thing at a time. Catch, establish a pivot foot, then attack. Maybe Nelm Shivers' presence now can help Navy in their comeback effort.
Grant Allen with the steal. Can't finish.
Great help defense by Johnson. She's really playing great team defense off the ball. Helping to stop drives. That's what you're going to need to continue this dominant performance. You see Nelm Shivers there. She's been a great inside force. She's intense, she's competitive, fiery. Navy's going to need some of that. As she stops Allen there on the post attempt.
Wood up off the glass, too strong, but Henderson with the putback. And Navy has come out inspired in the second half.
Yes. Wood starting to be aggressive, couldn't quite connect, but her teammate, running mate there, Henderson, who's done a little bit of everything for Navy on the offensive board, put back, but that's an awesome play by the Marines. They like to run their offense through the high post. Darcy with the backdoor feed, great cut by Allen, leading to the layup. That's good basketball.
Every coach in this tournament loves those kind of plays.
You know, the game of basketball has really evolved into a lot of outside shooting, a modern open approach, but it's still those type of plays, those Princeton XS plays that can still get it done. We see the give and go here, high post, backdoor feed. That's good fundamental team offensive basketball.
That was sweet.
It was sweet, especially the pass, the bounce pass.
46-23 the score. Navy has to capitalize on all of these stops, though, if they want any chance to win this game.
And they need to string together some good offensive possessions, getting good shots.
Like that one.
And that's what Henderson can do. She can get to the paint and finish, whether it's at the rim or a pull-up that we just saw there. Navy's really going to need her to step up in their comeback bid.
Henderson averages 10 points a game in this tournament. She's got 4, the former Georgia Bulldog. And a traveling violation.
Now, on top of that stop, Navy could use a score right here to continue to cut into this lead. Chip away, possession by possession.
Shelby Lindsay about jumped out of the gym for that rebound.
And she's really shown her athletic ability and her willingness to do the dirty work for the Marine Corps, whether it's on the floor, getting rebounds.
Henderson lays it up and in. And Chris Madden says timeout. Navy's cut it to a 19-point game. 3:08 left here in the third. Marines took a quick timeout as Navy playing for a lot of pride here in this second half and stringing together some nice buckets. Henderson now with 6 points, and the Marines lead, although big, down to 19 as Dominique White delivers an unexpected three.
White showing her ability to step out. One of the reserve post players for the Marines. A welcome surprise. Great job by her.
Step back shot won't go for Nelm Shivers, and Deja Fletcher running the Marine offense.
The Marines right now are in the groove, flowing, rhythmic offense, making great passes. Cutting, as we see there, Darcy to Fletcher. And that's basketball right there. Not the forced shots, but ensuring that you're having good action, leading to great shots, inside, out. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
Henderson on the baseline. And a rebound for Darcy. And off the hands of Fletcher with 1:54 left in this third quarter. Darcy takes a seat. Leachman will take a seat as Allen and Islas back into the contest.
Lindsay and Allen, the only two starters on the floor right now. But when you have such a large lead, like this 24-point lead that the Marines have, you can afford to go deep in your bench. And how about Islas earning some playing time, White, Fletcher, and that's what it's going to take. A team effort, especially from your reserves, to spell the starters.
Now Shivers gets her shot partially blocked, but the foul on the second attempt, and it's going to be Lindsay. That's her third foul. The staff sergeant out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Wearing number 1 for the Marines as Nelm Shivers drops in her first point of the game, the former Allen University Yellow Jacket. Over 1,000 career points for Nelm Shivers at Allen University.
Surprised we haven't seen her for the last game and a half. Early on, she was a solid contributor for this Navy team.
She had an 11-point game against the Marines earlier in the tournament as Islas all the way to the cup.
It's good to see Ebony back in the rotation.
And that's a good sign for Navy. A 3 from Wood, her 18th of the tournament.
And she's very capable of that, not afraid to pull the trigger in transition. Her teammates will find her.
Foul was on the floor. Fletcher to inbound here. Wilson with the steal. And Henderson with the finish.
Turnovers leading to fast break opportunities. Navy converting on the 2-on-1. Great bounce pass and assist by Wilson. But Johnson returns the favor on the other end. She's really showing her offensive ability here in this game today.
Shot on the way and no good. 31 seconds left here in quarter number 3. Ariel Thomas, yes.
She's a very capable outside shooter. Marines have to close out strong on her and not give her any daylight. She'll knock that down more times than not.
And Allen gets it stripped away. The Marines will retain possession here with 11 seconds left in the quarter. French to inbound. Stolen away, Henderson, Navy with the shot here. Wide open layup, and Henderson now has 10 in the game. And a nice run here from Navy. We'll head to the fourth. Marines still up 15. Watch that last one again.
Dominate. I did not come to play, I came to dominate. Dominate. Please don't ever fix your mouth to try to diss them. I can rearrange your teeth like novice dentist. Snap like Thanos, turn to dust my competition. But I preach non-violence, so I just dismiss them. Ocean all my flows, I wear all my gold. Two can't sell my chain, you just follow your nose. Cross your like Kyrie, I'm so grimy, leave slimy. Besides none of my foes, next to greatness, they look tiny. Yeah. Ay, all y'all look like steak.
Start of the fourth quarter here at the Smith Fitness Center. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines, Consolation bracket action between the Marine Corps and the Navy. Final game of this tournament for these two squads. The Navy women and the Marine women both sitting at 1-5 in the tournament. Both of their victories came against each other. For the Navy women, a 3-point win yesterday that went all the way down to the wire. But today, Joel, the Marines came out strong, a 14-0 run. They've led wire to wire.
They have, and it's going to take a valiant effort here for Navy if they want to make this game competitive and give themselves a chance to win. But the Marines are making that tough. Good job by French there, getting hands on balls, deflections, creating turnover opportunities.
Shelby Lindsay all the way into the paint. And Navy out with the basketball. Kira Wood. And not a good pass.
Not a good pass, but French was right there applying on-ball pressure, forcing the errant pass. And those are the little things that any team would need for a chance at victory.
15-point advantage. Kaylee Darcy. Scoop shot, layup won't go.
Even though that didn't go, I love the commitment by the Marines to feed their post players, and they're running their offense through their high post.
Nice bucket there for Ebony Nelm Shivers.
Yes, coming into the game in this second half, reestablishing herself as part of this rotation for this final day and this final game.
The lead down to 13. And a turnover. They're going to call a traveling violation on Shelby Lindsay. And another slight crack in the doorway for the Marines.
Navy's body language has really changed as the second half has progressed. I think they can see a glimmer of hope. But again, French having a great defensive game, leading to the fast break opportunity.
That was a great pass by French as she threaded that needle.
Yes. And sometimes that's what it takes, the right pass, whether it's a chest pass, bounce pass, depending on how the defense is playing you and the position of your offensive teammate.
Danae Wilson whistled for her second foul, and Lindsay puts in the free throw. She's had a tournament high 11 points twice against this Navy squad. She's got 5 points today.
I think if she can play against Navy every day, she'd be happy.
Brianna Allen fighting for it, but Navy on the run. Numbers. Henderson stop and pop from 7. Nice.
Good read by Henderson. Leachman was there to contest the shot, but she rose above using her height and her length, athletic ability, and she can knock down the pull-up jump shot.
Nelm Shivers has 2 fouls in the game. Second team foul on Navy here in this fourth quarter. French wants a 3, buried it.
And sometimes, Dan, the most dangerous person on an inbounds play is the inbounder. French stepping into the corner. Lindsay found her. That's good basketball.
Navy makes it a little tougher as they have an unforced turnover. Team for the USMC.
Navy's not going to go away quietly, as we see here, as they get another steal. They can use a good offensive possession here.
Thomas with the missed shot. Clock winds under, 7 to play.
The Marines are in full control of this game right now. They can afford to be patient, deliberate, time and score on their side. The hot shooting Aranisha Jefferson returns. The corporal stationed at Camp Pendleton. She has 3 threes in this game.
She came in averaging only 2.5 points a game. Did Jefferson 10 in the contest today.
Quadrupled her output today.
Danae Wilson thought Shivers was running with her, but threw it behind her. Turnovers have really plagued Navy today.
Yes, and it's going to be hard to win the game, let alone stay in the game with plays like that. But again, give the Marines credit on defense, being very active, not letting up. They got out to a hot start, and they haven't looked back.
Shot up and good for Brianna Allen. Four points in the second half for her.
And that's what Nilm Shivers can do. She gives Navy an inside presence, the ability to finish.
6 points for her. She had a tournament high against the Marines earlier in the tournament with 11 of her own. As we see a few more substitutions. Henderson, she's working hard defensively.
She is. She works hard on both ends of the floor, and her length really is an advantage. Hunting steals, in passing lanes, finishing on the offensive end. The former Georgia Lady Bulldog, showing why she was a former SEC player.
Won't go for Johnson. Wilson all the way to the rack, and an offensive foul.
That's the second charge that Johnson has drawn this game. That's a great sign. Again, the willingness to sacrifice your body for the team. Transition D, getting in position. And that came off a missed shot. And you don't normally see players after they miss a shot. She didn't hang her head. She got back and did what she had to do to get the ball back for her team.
Lindsay on the other end whistled for an offensive foul. 4 fouls now for her.
She's really active. Would really like to see her offensively, you know, just play with a little bit more control and poise.
Henderson, Joel, with 14 now in the game for Navy.
Navy's needed every point, every bit of those 14 points from Henderson. As again, Wood has been a little bit quiet today. But with shots like that, that'll change on the inside-out game. Good find by Nilm Shivers. That's what you have to do. Work the ball inside, the defense is collapsed, and then it opens up for outside shooters. Catch and shoot.
4.5 to play. It's a 10-point game, closest the Navy's been in a while. Lindsay fighting for the loose ball. Knocked away by Nilm Shivers, though. And Danae Wilson out on the run for Navy, makes it an 8-point game. How about that?
There's no quitting this Navy squad. You knew the surge was coming because that's what they do. Regardless of records, all these teams doing what they have to do to attempt to win.
You know our mantra. No lead is safe. Let's look at that last one again. Danae Wilson put Navy within 8. 4:07 to play here in the fourth quarter. And Navy, Joel, is making a comeback. They've trailed by more than 20 points in this contest. As shot put up for the Marines twice. Can't get it, but French with a third chance rebound. But it's an 8-point game.
Yes, Navy has really battled back here as Brianna Allen gets going again. A little quiet here in the second half after that dominant first half. So she's really going to have to close out this game and reestablish who she was in the first half for the Marines.
18 points in that first half, and a bucket for Ebony Nelm Shivers. She's in double figures.
All in the second half. And just think, had she played in the first half, perhaps this game would be even closer. But she's really come in, did what she had to do, and given Navy a great chance to stay in this game.
Chance to cut the lead to 7. So a great start to our day, partner.
Yes. This has the makings to be a very competitive day. Great games on the slate between evenly matched teams.
Lead is at 7. Down low, nice bucket for Brianna Allen. Tournament high, 26 points for her.
And 2 straight buckets for her. Starting to regain her dominance. She's put the Marines on her back today.
Henderson off the glass. Can't get it to drop, but draws the foul.
Navy, they still have some belief, some hope. They can cut this lead even closer. Only a few possessions. These are very important free throws by Henderson.
2:55 to play. Henderson drops in the first free throw. 15 points for her. 7 of 9 in the tournament from the free throw line. She had a tournament high 19 points yesterday. Could we see that tonight from her? She's got 16. Lead back to 7.
Henderson has really gotten better and better with each game.
The Navy's called general quarters. Everybody's up. With 2:35 to play. French. And a turnover for the Marines. And the Navy with yet another chance. It's all hands on deck. Wood for 3, in and out.
Can you imagine if that shot would have gone in? Wow. Navy really could have used that.
2:06 to play. French wants a 3. Fight for the loose ball. Navy still with a chance here. 151 and counting here in the fourth quarter. And a blocking foul. And Leachman right in the middle of things. Hopefully she's okay.
She really took a shot there. Unfortunately, the officials called a block on that play. And on the offensive end, the Marines have to understand that you have the lead, time is in your favor. Just milk the clock, be patient. Sometimes you have to turn down a shot early in the shot clock just to get out of here with a victory. But Navy's really come on strong in the second half.
And the scoring table changed the foul call. They showed Lindsay on the board. That would have been her 5th, but it couldn't have been on her. Ariel Thomas takes the shot. And it's Allen with a big rebound.
She's been dominant on both ends, cleaning the glass.
Ball control and security of high importance right now, Joel.
It's paramount right now. The Marines don't have to rush at all.
Darcy. And a whistle. And that's going to be on Danae Wilson. And that is her 4th foul with 1:14 to play. So an opportunity for the Marines to extend the lead from the charity stripe. As Darcy with 2 points in the game. She's averaging 13.8 points a game. She's been the leading scorer on this Marine squad, but a quiet day this afternoon.
A quiet day today.
But a great tournament.
An absolutely outstanding tournament.
16 points yesterday, makes it an 8-point game today. Henderson quickly to the rack, up and in. She's had a great second half.
Henderson has game. She attacked 2 defenders there, beating Allen, and then finishing around Darcy. It's only a 2-possession game, Dan.
51 seconds to go. Could we get a fantastic finish and a wild comeback from Navy? Marines trying to stop that from happening. A great defensive stop there.
Great help defense by Darcy. She and Allen corralled Wood.
Head coach Chris Madden of the Marines wants to talk about things. The Marines making it interesting here in Georgia.
Dominate. I did not come to play. I came to dominate. 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 I did not come to play. I came to dominate. 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 I did not come to play. I came to dominate. 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 I did not come to play. I came to dominate. 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 Please don't ever fix your mouth to try to diss them. I can rearrange your teeth like novice dentist. Snap like Thanos, turn to dust my competition. But I preach non-violence, so I just dismiss them.
29 ticks left here in the 4th quarter. It's a 2-possession game. The Navy, Joel, has really played well in half number 2.
They have come on strong here in the latter part of the game, really turning up the defensive pressure, forcing turnovers, getting out on the break. Henderson's been a great part of that.
Wood called for the foul here with 23 seconds left, and that will put Jefferson at the free throw line. She's had her largest offensive output of the tournament so far today. 3 triples, 10 points. She's 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and an opportunity to push this lead out and get the friendly bounce. She's got 11.
That was a huge free throw to push this to a 3-possession game, 7-point lead. Let's see if she can tack on another one.
And Sarita Brumfield wants to call a timeout here with 21.9 seconds left. As the officials talking to her right now. You get a good look there at the former Michigan State Spartan. Drafted in the 1st round of the WNBA draft. And we'll see what she calls in the huddle. We'll take a quick timeout as well. 7-point Marine lead.
Bet it all on me. Bet it all on me. Yeah, bet on me. I got that high hand. Tell them stop playing. Wait, whoa, whoa. God sent in the top 10. Got me locked in. Wait, whoa, whoa. Shot clock with it non-stop. Been timeless. Tell them pay attention. Need a vibe. Vans going Kanye on a wild rant. Wait, ha. You know what it is, just throwing a dime, you doubling up. Whoa, you know the odds might get a little bad, but they gotta fumble it up. Yeah. Put in a prop, it's looking exotic. You know what side it is. You know what side it is. Hey, bet it all on me. Bet it, bet it, bet it.
65-58 the score here with 21 seconds. I mean, no question, Navy needs a bucket here.
They absolutely do. They want any chance to.
And a turnover. That was huge. And a foul. And actually a timeout called by Chris Madden. Calls for a quick 30-second timeout here. And that turnover could have been the backbreaker for Navy.
It could have, but Darcy was there on the receiving end. The chance to go to the line and extend this lead to put it further out of reach. But kudos to Navy for battling back the way that they did, making a game of it. Cut it down to a 2-possession game. Couldn't quite get over the hump. Nelm Shivers has been a huge part of the second half surge, being reinserted in the lineup.
If you think about it, I mean, Navy has outscored the Marines 41-31 in this second half. If they get off to a better start in this game, you could be looking at a different result. But right now, still a shot. They're going to have to foul, and finally Wilson does commit the foul, but she is fouled out of this one. Her day is done here at the 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships. 5 points for her. Left it all out on the court.
I was about to say the exact same thing again. She's gotten much better as the tournament's gone on. Started as a reserve, but then inserted in the starting lineup. She finished her tournament averaging 7.2 points a game. Again, like you said, 18 points in her last game, a threat from the three-point line. She has a bright future for this Navy team.
Amaris Gonzalez checks in for her, the Miami, Florida native. And Veronica French drops in the free throw. And it's an 8-point game with 13 seconds left. 9 points for French. And the Marines 7 seconds away from their second win of the tournament. And Gonzalez hoists one up. And that is going to do it. A 67-58 win for the Marine women. They improved to 2-5 in the tournament. Navy drops to 1-6 for the tournament as their tournament ends. How about Brianna Allen, Joel? 26 points, 11 points for Jefferson, and a breakout game for her, and a big win for the Marines.
Yes, the Marines have a lot to take from this tournament, earning 2 victories. Great program builder moving forward. Credit to Chris Madden and his staff for doing a great job, and the players themselves. Awesome display of basketball today.
18 points for Ariana Henderson, 10 points for Kira Wood on the day. Nelm Shivers played a great second half in this game, but it was just not enough as the final score, again, 67-58. So the Marines get third place, the Navy fourth on the women's bracket. Don't go anywhere. In about 25 minutes or so, we are going to have a great one. Marines and Army to play for the men's consolation bracket final. For my partner Joel Hines and our entire second audio visual squadron crew, I'm Dan Hawkins. So long. Good afternoon from Fort Moore, Georgia.